guys, we'll just look at the market heat map. I suppose this is all the heat maps I'm currently looking at because we got the pound and we got the BOE interest rate decision today. So I'm looking at the pound crosses. We've got seen a little bit of weakness creeping in. So it would suggest that we could be a little bit risk off because the pound's quite sensitive to risk. If we risk on, the pound normally does quite well, and like the Aussie as well. And also looking at the euro because I'm looking to potentially buy the breakout on the euro pound, and I put out the level of interest on the technical channel. Do note your market heat map is pretty negative, apart from the FTSE, which is bizarre. And we had the big miss, the EPS from Meta, which is your earnings per share. It was a horrendous miss, and the market value of Facebook or Meta, it tumbled 25% in like an hour. So we're talking like billions and billions of dollars shed in an hour. So it's telling us to risk off. The market participants are probably going to look at that data and they think, well, I don't know if I want to hold on to my bets, and they might continue to short it. If they do sell it, that could be good for us. We're talking about the retail guys. Because currently the S&P, we did have the buy signal here, see how we cross into positive. Now we want them to sell it in order for the price to come up, but however I think we still might need to come down a little bit, and this could be fundamentally driven as well because you know that was a pretty horrendous miss from Facebook. So maybe a little bit more down. Eventually they'll get stopped out of their longs and then they'll short. They'll continue to short, so I say, because they're already net short, but we want them to continue to sell. So maybe a little bit more down, and then we know we'll rally. So it's a bit tricky. This could be a fundamentally driven day where people are looking at data and not just like the small fish but the big fish as well. So it could just be like a risk off day. You know, these things happen. The retail guys have to get paid as well. It's something to bear in mind. The dollar is strengthening as well. I'll talk to you about that because I've got a metric. I can show you a MetaTrader. The dollar is currently the strongest currency. So got to be careful. And the fact that the dollar is strong is indicating a little bit of risk off on the indices as well. Okay, so that's that being said. That's the you know, we could potentially be risk off today, and we might be by the dip for New York. Okay, that's that. I want also the economic calendar, but I guess really the thing is the BOE, and then we got some PMI data from America, from the US in 8 hours time. So yeah, market PMI from Eurozone as well. Alright, so let's talk about the charts. So I think, let's put this out on the technical channel, I think that we're going to come down and get this liquidity on AU. See those stops? They're looking like ripe to be plucked, like a fruit. They're ripe and they're ready to be consumed. So we could potentially come down and grab those stops. This one is the volume node of interest, the SLC. It's the one sticking out the most at 71.10. So we're 11 pips away. So I think potentially come down and then even up there. So it's only 50 pips away from grabbing that. So it's likely we're going to do that in a day easily. So we could just be a horrendous day on FX today. So monthly pivot's there. So I think potentially a breach of monthly pivot. Grab that liquidity, and we'll come up and grab that. So, and what's good about this indicator, it does update every second. And obviously, if you want to buy the Aussie USD, you wouldn't buy it necessarily at the moment. You'd wait for that to go green. You'd want the USD to come down and the Aussie to come up. But currently, USD is king and it's leading, which makes sense because you know that we could be risk off today. So that's that. Let's maybe look at pound. Oh, it's a bit slow now. So we've got the ascending channel, which looks like it's going to break. It's my alarm. It's a bit annoying. One above is 135.85. One below is just below monthly pivot at 135.15. So we might see a break of that channel. We might get that liquidity. And the fact is that if the BOE does disappoint, which is possible, they're forecasting an interest rate hike. If they don't, we'll come down. There's like a volume node here as well, 133.60. So that's a long way away. That's a really, really long way away. It's a 190 pip move. So we could come down there. It's an historical stop loss cluster, but we still can come down there. So we've got to be careful. We are currently a sell. They did technically they did sell it though, so it looks like a little bit of payday that they might be undergoing. If it falls, then these guys will get paid. But we should be coming up because they shorted it. So keep an eye on your monthly pivot 135.17, and we are a buy at the high level as well. Euro. Why it's so slow nowadays? One above is 113.30. One below is 112.90. We're 5 pips away. We're going to grab that. We are a buy, and I think they might be going to go long. Yeah, they're just starting to go long here. There. So I guess they probably saw this rally and they thought, oh, I'll continue. This looks like it's going to be a good buy. And they probably looked left at all this price performance, thought, oh, this looks like a good buy. So yeah, whether or not that's going to work out for them, I'm not sure. But they went long here at 113.15, and it fell since. It's fallen 20 pips from that move. So if they continue to buy it, we'll come down, and we'll definitely get that liquidity, that stop loss cluster. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. And this was finished with the dollar yen. If you want me to look at any pair, like maybe you want me to look at Kiwi or even like an exotic pair, then that's fine. But I want to keep these videos kind of short. Dollar yen. So again at 130, I'm going to enable the robot. I've got a CTrader bot. Last 2 days have been successful, so I'm going to do that same test today at 130 for the UJ currency pair. 114.60 and 114.10. We've got an ascending channel on the H4, sort of making higher lows, higher high. So technically bullish on the H4. On the M30 we've got a descending channel, but we might break. We are a buy sideways. You can see how sideways that is. Monthly pivot's there, and so that's that. So yeah, I guess I'll wrap up the video. It's a good idea to get a quant tower if you've got some spare time. It's a really good idea to keep an eye on your risk appetite, especially if you're trading the dollar or yen, and you can just see maybe they're going to go green for New York. It's possible. At the high level we are risk on, and the VIX was crushed as well. So the risk calculation is saying to buy dips, so maybe we're going to see a reversal, but it could just be one of those tricky days. So I'm going to be taking it easy tomorrow. I'm just going to do the update, and then I'm going to take the whole day off. I'm not going to plan to trade NFP at all, and I've done quite a lot of hours this week anyway. So have a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning for the bulletin, but then I'll be off, and then I'll do something on the weekend for you guys.